Russia doesn't want to invade the Ukraine. They just want to keep closer political and business ties with the Ukraine than the U.S. So Ukraine's the hot chick on the block. All right, come on, Ukraine. Let's try to work this. President of Ukraine recently told Biden he didn't want any U.S. military intervention. The guy's probably between a rock and a hard place. Money coming in from the U.S., but proximity to Russia means he has to respect both. No, he doesn't. He has our weapons behind him. We're never going to use them. They're never going to use theirs. What he should do is should go to Russia and be like, hey, not for nothing. The U.S. is giving me this. Maybe if you give me that, all of a sudden I like your little furry hat there, Russian guy. That's what they should do. You can watch all the news stations and read the New York Times, and they're giving all the reasons as to why we need to support our Ukrainian brothers as if they give a shit. I know, it's so stupid. The whole thing is so fucking stupid. Most people can't find the Ukraine on a fucking map. I couldn't remember the name of the country. For some reason, I remember the name of the capital, Kiev. I remember during the Bush administration, Neil Young did a free speech tour because he was against intervention in the Middle East, and he was getting heat for it. Glad he is staying away from this and focusing on comedians who interview doctors for 3 hours. He's old, man. Maybe he wants to pick a smaller fight. All right. Bank robbery stories. All right, bank robbery stories. Dear Billy COVID Balls, been a huge fan of the podcast. Your stand-up F is for family, and you as an actor for years now. Thank you so much. Look at you. That's the kind of support I need, man. My wife owns a bank. My wife's family owns a bank. Get the fuck out of here. Do they have, candelabras in their house? And fucking taxidermied fucking animals on the wall? Oh, that's amazing. They own a bank? My wife's... Now, did they choose you? Do you also come from a wealthy family? Was there some sort of fucking ceremony with, robes and a fucking virgin blood and shit? My wife's family owns a bank, and I've heard some pretty wild sorties? I think stories is what you were trying to say. About successful and unsuccessful robbery attempts. Oh, this ain't no robbery. Oh, this is fantastic. This is a whole new segment. Anybody here ever have somebody come in and try to rob their store? I want to hear the fucking stories. This is incredible. Somebody coming in, risking their own freedom to get what's in the fucking store, and some poor man or woman in the fucking store now worrying if they're going to lose their life. Only tell me ones that just are funny. I don't want to hear sad. We had a real sad one out here. Some guy just came in and just stabbed this poor woman who was just sitting there working a job, man. Whole life ahead of her. Fucking horrific. I don't want to hear shit. This is a fun, funny, ignorant fucking podcast, all right? Keep it light, people. All right. Anyway, you talking about the teller handing the note back to the robber telling him essentially to go fuck himself on the Thursday edition of the podcast reminded me of one of the unsuccessful attempts at one of their branches. Yeah, I was talking about how, you can rob a bank with a note and they're just supposed to assume that you have a weapon and let the authorities handle it. And I was thinking, if you had degenerate gamblers work as tellers, they'd never give up the money. They'd always take the gamble. Maybe you could save some fucking, getting robbed. I don't know. It was a stupid idea. Of course it was. It came from me. Anyway, here's a guy's story here. Guy walks in and asks one of the tellers for the cash, and the branch manager walks out and pretty much tells the guy, not today. I've already had a stressful day, and I don't have time for this shit. You need to get the fuck out. The guy took his note and walked right back out the door he came in. Oh, my God. That is fucking amazing. And then the guy didn't go to jail. Can you imagine if that guy turned his life around? I bet he tells that story and nobody believes him. I came in with the note, and the guy said, not today. I've already had enough stress. I don't have time for this shit. Now you can get the fuck out. Jeez, then that right there is the fucking branch manager of the year. That's the fucking, what's Dirty Harry's name? Jack Callahan? But you know what happened with Dirty Harry? His partners were always getting killed, so that guy's eventually going to get a teller killed. Anyway, at another branch, the teller gave the guy the money, and the police found him and got into a chase. During the chase, the robber was driving unusually erratic, and when he wrecked, they discovered the reason for it was because he was trying to shove the money up his ass to hide it. Oh, my God. I don't believe that one. Oh, my God. I mean, that's how high the stakes are. He's literally going like, if I get caught, I'm going to go to jail and I'm going to get raped in the ass. What do I want in my ass? Somebody else's dick or a bag of dirty cash? Cash can't tell a story, man. Fuck it. I'll take what's behind door number 2. The police ended up calling and asking if the bank wanted the poop money back because it was recovered. They declined. Not sure whatever happened to that cash. You know what happened to it? You know exactly what fucking happened to it. The fucking cops took it down to one of those power wash things, fucking sprayed it, air dried it, and they threw a kegger. All right, talking about it, my dude. Talking about it, my dude. Yo, Bill, my dude. First of all, I love that black people have given you white people's a new use for the word dude, which is really all y'all's. It was sitting there all along, my dude. Oh, I guess that's how black people... I like my dude is funny. It doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth. And you know what? I stay in my lane. Wait a minute. I married a black woman. I can't say I stay in my lane. All right. I veered off a little bit. Okay, on to it. Heard you give up on caring about COVID shit last week, and I want to tell you, I ain't been talking about COVID shit to anyone for a while now. About a year and a half ago, I saw my doctor, who is a real person and is in an office and uses a stethoscope and has cotton balls in a jar. A real-ass doctor out here outside of Atlanta. Flesh and blood. He told me point blank, them shitty masks didn't work. He said I could find the good ones, but the regular-ass cloth masks my credit union was handing out didn't do nothing. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't know that? There's massive gaps on the top and the bottom. And guess what? He even explained why. I'm a licensed electrician, but it made sense to me, my dude. He was looking out for me to make sure I didn't have a false sense of confidence in them things. He wasn't telling me the vid was fake, my dude. A few days later, I told 2 friends who happened to be white women about masks, and they was yelling at me. Oh, Jesus Christ. They weren't Karens, were they? I was just looking out because they showed up to a place with a mask that said Gucci in sequins. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, why now? Let me ask you a question. Why did you think that they were going to listen to you? You know, like I felt like that was a major character flaw during this pandemic where you're such a self-involved person that you had to have some sort of flair on your mask. You know what I mean? To show that you're different. And I still just need to stand out, need to have some sort of focus, or show that I have money. Anyway, then they started coming at me like they was nurses and doctors and asking why they ain't heard that. I ain't lying, my dude. Now they are saying on TV what my doctor said almost 2 years ago. 2 years for that shit. They hit the Twitter, my dude. This is why I've been questioning stuff. But like I said, just said to myself. That's the end. Thanks and stay lotioned. I will. I absolutely will. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, medicine is also getting so much fucking shit, acting like they're not responsible for keeping 7 billion people alive every fucking day, which they do tremendously. And I just feel like there's just something about fucking morons. They just think they're smart, and then they just like to just point out. They just like to point out where people that are, you know, specialists in something, from cops to doctors, athletes, everybody, comedian, everybody's just getting fucking shit on. Yeah, they shouldn't have told that joke. Well, why'd he fucking do that? As I'm shitting on fucking coaches this week. You know, we all fucking do it. We all do it. I still believe, like, listen, they're not going to get everything right, but they get way more right than they get wrong. And I am alive today because of doctors. If not, I would have died of a ruptured fucking appendix, all right? So I have no problem with doctors. And I don't care that they work at more of a snail's pace than these shoot-from-the-hip guys who fucking leave mainstream medicine. Of course you can fucking have new information. You don't have any fucking checks and balances anymore. But I also know that the other thing is fucking, it's corrupt, whatever. FDA has former people from the pharmaceutical companies as their members, and they pass shit. I don't know, whatever. Who gives a fuck? I don't care.